para ipakita ang tunay na estado ng ating bansa. Ilahad ang mga pinakabagong balita at pangyayari sa ating bayan. Ipaalam sa taong bayan ang katotohanan at ipaliwanag ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng pamahalaan upang manatiling payapa at maiangat ang pamumuhay ng bawat Pilipino. Mula sa Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Duterte, ito ang Talk to the People.
To call Secretary Dizon. Last si Secretary Magdali.
Mr. President, wala naman pong masyadong i-report kundi sususugan lang po namin ni Secretary Galvez yung pong report ni Director General Eric na kailangan po talagang maintindihan ng lahat ng mga kababayan natin na kailangan po talaga nating magpabakuna. Ngayon po kasi, Mr. President, sa ibang mga areas, nakakaranas pa rin po tayo ng hesitancy o yung pag-aalinlangan ng ating mga kababayan. Pero napakaganda po ng report ni Director Eric and dapat po talaga ma-disseminate natin itong impormasyon na ito para malaman po ng mga kababayan natin, lalo na sa mga magalayong lugar at outside of the major cities para po talagang ma-convince natin silang lahat na magpabakuna na po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Secretary Nogales, you can proceed.
Ayong adlaw, Mr. President, Senator Bongo at mga kasama natin sa gabinete, mga kababayan. Yung presentation ko po ay tungkol sa accomplishments ng Philippine Space Agency. Isa po itong opisina na nasa ilalim po ng Office of the President. Mr. President, ito pong PhilSA ay na-establish po sa pamamagitan ng batas na inyong pinirmahan noong 2019. Ito yung Republic Act number 11363 or an act establishing the Philippine Space Development and Utilization Policy at nag-create ng Philippine Space Agency po natin. Next slide. Tungkulin po ng PhilSA, bahagi ng tungkulin po nila na tulungan ang iba't ibang mga kagawaran at ahensya ng ating gobyerno in the utilization ng space science and technology applications. Pati na rin po yung mga data and information na makukuha natin. At katuwang po natin ang PhilSA sa ating Task Force on Zero Hunger, lalong-lalo po yung mga programa for food security by providing us with satellite data. Next slide. Halimbawa po, dito sa accomplishment report ng PhilSA, makikita po natin kung paano nagagamit ang satellite data para sa pag-identify ng mga productive areas in our municipal waters for fishing management. Isa rin po ito sa mga strategies ng Task Force Zero Hunger for food security. Next slide. Yung naging kapaki-pakinabang din po at napapanahon sa gitna ng pandemya, yung pag-utilize ng various technologies natin using PhilSA at pag-harness ng space technology. Kasama po dito yung Space Data Dashboard na launch, yung COVID-19 Space Data Dashboard, para mas maintindihan at maunawaan natin ang effects or impacts ng COVID-19 sa paggamit po ng satellite data. Next slide. So halimbawa, dito sa COVID-19 Space Data Dashboard na joint effort ng PhilSA at DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute at ng Space Technology and Applications Mastery, Innovation and Advancement or Stamina for Space Program. By the way, this is publicly accessible satellite data na makikita sa PhilSA website. Ay makikita po natin dito yung pre- and post-pandemic environment ng country, katulad ng data on traffic, air quality, water quality, and night lights. At nagagamit ito to formulate better policy responses for COVID-19 related matters. Next slide. Mahalagang accomplishment din po ng PhilSA yung key development area on space education and awareness. Halimbawa, providing capacity building for the Philippine Navy, our Air Force and Coast Guard. Ang pag-conduct ng mga webinars that are open to the public and yung scholarship program na nilaunch din po ng PhilSA. Ito po yung Ad-Astra or Advanced Degrees for Accelerating Strategic Space R&D and Application Scholarship Program, kung saan we encourage Filipino students to pursue postgraduate studies in space science, space industry, space diplomacy, space engineering, space law and policy, and space economics. Importante po ito for economic development post-pandemic and training and support for our future generations of scientists and engineers. Para mas mapalawig pa natin ang kakayahan at maging kabahagi ng ibang nations in the region sa pagpapalitan ng kaalaman, next slide, PhilSA also engages in international cooperation and promotes Philippine interest in the UN Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, the UN ESCAP Regional Space Applications Program for Sustainable Development, the Asia-Pacific Regional Space Agency Forum, the ASEAN Research and Training Center for Space Technology, and the ASEAN Subcommittee on Space Technology and Applications. Next slide. Sa larangan naman ng space research and development, PhilSA has conducted a decadal survey. This is a 10-year plan that charts the nation's future in space through responsive and innovative missions. Nag-develop din po ang PhilSA ng Mula satellite and will soon launch the program called Incentivize. Dito sa decadal survey, ito po ay to ensure effective response to the current and future needs of our country for the next 10 years as basis for our priority missions and sustainable conduct of space-based Earth systems, science programs, and technology applications. Next slide. So ito po yung initial output ng decadal survey, our preliminary roadmap for satellite missions for our country for the period 2021 to year 2030. Next slide. Very exciting times for us in the Philippines pagdating sa space technology. Last Wednesday po, October 6, the first Philippine university-built cube satellites, Maya 3 and Maya 4, were successfully deployed from the International Space Station. Ito po ay na-develop under the Stamina for Space program of the DOST. Ito mga satellites ng Maya 3 at Maya 4 will stay in low Earth orbit around 400 kilometers above ground, will circle the planet every 1.5 hours. We'll be testing red, green, and blue and near-infrared cameras at magte-take ng images and videos to allow collection ng data from remote ground sensors like temperature, humidity, wind speed. This is actually implemented by the UP Diliman in partnership with the Kyushu Institute of Technology in Japan. Bukod po dito, meron din po tayong ibang satellites na nakadeploy, also developed under DOST. Maya 2 is currently in space after being launched in February and deployed into orbit in March of 2021. Maya 1, yung predecessor po, was launched into space in June 2018 and deployed and then returned to Earth in December 2020. And the first two microsatellites natin, Diwata 1 in 2016 and Diwata 2 in 2018. Yung Diwata 1, decommissioned na po, but Diwata 2 remains in space. At ito yung pinakabago natin, being developed, ang Mula satellite, being developed by PhilSA under its Advanced Satellite for the Philippines project. The satellite data to be captured by Mula will be real-time data on disaster management, coastal monitoring, and ocean studies, and agriculture. We expect to launch this in year 2023, and it will help us crop nutrient monitoring, crop growth and stress detection, crop expansion, land use, and land cover change analysis. Last na lang po, itong pinakabago, next slide. Pinakabago na isa sa mga kumbaga sagot natin in terms of improving internet connectivity sa ating bansa. Ito yung internet access and connectivity utilization of space science and technology applications. Incentivize po ang tawag nito ng PhilSA, which stands for Introducing Non-Geostationary Satellite Constellations Test Deployments to Improve internet service. So this is one of the ways that we can improve internet service in the country through satellite technology. Meron pong audio-video presentation ng PhilSA for our better understanding and appreciation, Mr. President. Paki-play po ng video ng PhilSA. Yan lang po, Mr. President. That ends our presentation. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Secretary Nograles, for that informative piece of yours. Ang ganda. Umabot na pala tayo. Ang mga kalaban natin nandito pa sa baba. I'm referring to the pandemic and epidemic that visits our country periodically. But this pandemic is sa ating generation. At matindi talaga. Alam mo, every time magsalita ako dito, tatlong bagay lang talaga. Lahat kayong mga Pilipino, makinig kayo. Parang galit ako na hindi ako galit. Yung lahat ng pinag-uusapan namin dito, on all the hours of talking to you and presenting what is happening to our society, can be best answered by tatlo lang. Tatlo lang talaga. Bakuna, magmaskara ka, iwas. That is all there is to it. Lahat ng pinagdadaldal namin dito would converge into one single sentence. Kaya yan na lang ang ipagbilin ko sa iyo, na sana sundin ninyo. Kasi yan lang talaga ang pangpawala ng sakit ng ulo sa bayan natin. Magpabakuna, alam ko marami pang ayaw Iyan ang problema, yung ayaw magpabakuna. Kaya hanapin ninyo yan sa barangay ninyo. Akyatin natin pagtulog at turukin natin na nakatulog para makumpleto yung istorya. Kung ayaw, akyatin sa bahay tusukin natin sa gabi. Ako ang I will lead the journey. So mga kababayan ko, this ends our program. I hope that I said everything that has been said here since the beginning has always been centered on one important factor, and that is really the vaccine. Meron tayong bakuna, marami na dumating. Pasalamat tayo kay Secretary Garveles. Then may we make use of that so that you can help the country and our fellow human being. Maraming salamat po.